Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Here I am, German Kapshemeye. Here you have. Yeah, so thank you so much for coming back. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching our videos. Thank you so much for all your feedback. It's been amazing and we are very happy to be here today. So yeah, and today we have a very interesting video. And yeah, it's gonna be a little bit emotional, but hopefully we'll go through it. So yeah, so basically, do you want to start?
I don't know what to talk.
How we found out we were pregnant, how was the journey, and after we had the miscarriage, how was the how it's been going basically. Yeah, so so basically I got pregnant October last year. Last year October, like in the middle of the I think it was the first month of October 2023.
You just said the first month of October. You mean the first week?
Sorry, the first week of October 2023. That's when I found out I was pregnant. And then we went to the hospital, me and Edmund, to just, sometimes when you do the test of pregnancy, you still have to be sure, because you may think you're pregnant yet you're not, or you may think you're not yet you're pregnant. So you have to make sure to get the confirmation from the hospital, which that's what we did. So we went to the hospital to get checked, and we actually found out we were pregnant, and I was very excited. I wasn't actually okay. We're trying, but I wasn't like it wasn't something that we're craving for, like it was so easy. Like when I got pregnant the first time, it was just easy as you can think, like because we tried like the first month, boom, the second month I was already pregnant. So we were excited, and at the same time I was very grateful because I know how hard it is when you're trying to get pregnant. So many people try for years, like they try and they get miscarriage and it keeps happening and it's even harder. Like
you're right.
September, yeah. So like September, that's when we started trying, and then actually October I got pregnant. It was so shocked. First of all, I didn't know I was pregnant. I don't know if it's because I didn't believe it, because it was too soon. You just try the first month, the second month you're pregnant. So for me it was a little bit shocking because I know normally sometimes it takes a long time than you thought, right? So I didn't want to put so much hopes on us getting pregnant right away. That's why I couldn't actually believe we were actually pregnant. So one of the symptoms that I got when we got pregnant, before we went to the hospital, because when you get pregnant and then you find out, you still have to go to the hospital to be checked, to get the confirmation from the doctor that you're actually pregnant, right? So, but before we did that, I kind of had different symptoms. One of them was feeling, how does it call? Basically, I feel bloated all the time. Like my belly is full and I want to eat a lot, but my belly is full, and it was so weird. Yeah, I was eating a lot. Like that's why I gained a lot of weight. Yeah, and I was peeing very often. Yeah, that's for sure. But I couldn't actually believe I was pregnant. I thought it was just something that's happening because I just came from Burundi, things like that. And one day, we went, j'étais avec Edmond, on était à Takia, and then we went to buy food. And I was hungry because, on était là-bas come like 2 hours. And then after 2 hours sitting down trying to eat, after finish eating, I actually started feeling weird. I felt like I'm dying. Basically, I felt like my stomach, I don't have space anymore. Like for some reason, I just got full from 0 to 100. It was so weird. I started crying. I think I actually screamed. I didn't scream.
Maybe internally.
Oh my god, I was so scared. I started crying. I don't know if you could realize what was happening, but like I was really scared.
No, you were quiet. It was everything was happening inside.
Yeah, it was the worst. Like I will never forget. Like I felt terribly. Like, basically.
I think you had a panic attack.
Yeah, I had a panic attack. Yes. I had a panic attack because I could feel my belly is not working. Like something is wrong. Like I'm too full. Basically, that's how I felt. And I was like, oh my god, too full. Yeah, I'm the cheese. Like I felt like umutima it's getting overeating. Overwhelmed. Like it was just too much. Like, and I started crying. And then that was the first of the symptoms that I got. The second one, I was peeing a lot all the time. It doesn't matter during the day, during the night. I just do it
6 times in 4 hours.
Like 6 times.
Yeah.
No, I think it was more than that. Like, it was too much. The second symptoms that I got was eating. Guys, listen. When I say eating, I was eating all the time. It doesn't matter. I'm in the church. I have my food. I have my snacks around because I was hungry all the time. And at that time, I don't think I knew I was pregnant. It would just keep eating all the time, eating without knowing that I'm pregnant. So after some time, after like 2 weeks, that's when you said, you know what, you should take a pregnancy test. I think you're pregnant. And I was like, no, it can't happen. And then we tested and we found out we're pregnant. And then we had to make an appointment to go to the hospital to get the confirmation from the doctor we are actually pregnant, and which we did. And we found out we were pregnant in October. And then now we have to start about the vitamins. Actually, I was taking vitamins before that, but like now, and then what?
Prenatal.
Yeah, prenatal. I was actually taking prenatals already, but you have to kind of like actually doing it seriously. Then today you skip, tomorrow you don't do it.
But also, I think they did tests of your blood, and because that's when they started giving you iron.
Yeah, iron. Yeah. So I feel like, and that's I talked to one of women. They said actually even the doctor told me, many of women who get pregnant, many times they have iron. So
Iron deficiency.
Iron deficiency. So it wasn't a new thing basically. So I started taking that as well. Fairmax, it's called Fairmax. So like it was good. It was good. I was very grateful because I know how, especially when you just get married, I know how it's hard to get pregnant. So I was like, it just happened right now. We just started right now, and it just happened. So I was very grateful to God that I didn't have to go to the struggle of waiting too long or not working, start thinking about going to, all these things women who are trying to get pregnant, they do. Like, I felt so grateful not to go through that because it would be hard on me.
Yeah, you don't have patience.
Should I say that?
But that's okay.
Yeah, like sometimes I'm like, for me, when I want something, I just want to get it. I don't care how long. I just need. Okay, that's the formula. Okay, how can I just repeat it and then get it? That's me. So because I know myself, I was like, oh my God, God just hear my prayer. So like, this is good that it didn't have to take too long. So we were happy, starting the journey of pregnancy. So we're pregnant in October, we're pregnant in November, we're pregnant in December. December, we had people coming over, and we had a party. It was on 16th.
Yeah.
16th of December. I didn't actually cook because I was already 3 months pregnant. I couldn't actually do much. Like I was getting bigger a lot because I was eating all the time. But at the same time, I wasn't cooking actually. Edmund was.
You were not standing.
Yeah, I couldn't stand. I could sit, but I couldn't bend.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't bend like this because it was hurting. Like my back wasn't doing well. So Edmund was a very good helper. He was helping me a lot. Sometimes he's working in the office upstairs. He has to come upstairs to check on me. Sometimes he could actually bring the food in the room. So it was really good, baby. Thank you. So December 16th, we had visitors. People were coming over in our house to have a party, Christmas party together, and it was so nice. I didn't cook. Everybody brought their own food, so it was good because anyways I didn't have to cook because I couldn't cook cook for 40 people. Like I couldn't do that, right? So I talked to one of my aunties, so they brought the food at home and the drinks, everything. And Edmund was already busy, so he couldn't even cook for 40 people by himself, right? So, people coming over, we had a good time, we danced, we enjoyed, like it was so good. 2 days later, like I didn't actually do anything, they did everything. It's not like I was tired, no. Like 2 days later, from December 16th, I had, so 16th, I feel like it was 17th, that's when it started. I never felt, all this my journey of 3 months, I never felt anything wrong with my pregnancy. I never felt anything wrong. Everything was good. Oh my God, I was just eater. I was just eating all the time. I was good. No, and took me, I need food. Where is the food? I need food. Sometimes actually I could actually driving, like maybe I'm going to the appointment, whatever. I have my snacks with me in the car. Like, listen, I need to eat. This baby was craving so much. Anyways, so I was eating all the time. I didn't have any issues at all. So on 17th December, that's when I had the worst experience. I started feeling cramps, like it was so hard. I couldn't actually sleep. So we had the party 16th, 17th, it's in the morning. That night, I slept a little bit, but I didn't feel well. On the next day, I felt the worst. I couldn't actually sleep the whole night, and I didn't want to tell Edmund because I know he has work to do, and I didn't want to put him on pressure. I was like, maybe it's a women thing, you know, I'm pregnant, maybe something is being, because I don't know. It's the first time it's happening to me. It's the first time I'm getting pregnant. I don't know nothing, so I didn't want to put pressure on you. I just wanted to go with it by myself, right? But it was so hard. I didn't sleep the whole night. Like I did not sleep at all, the whole night until morning. And that was 18, 2 days later. So 16, 17, 18. So yeah, 18th in the morning at around 6. That's when I told Edmund, I think it was like 5 in the morning. I told Edmund, I don't feel good. I really need to go to the hospital. Like, I do not feel good. Like, I've been sick the whole night and I don't know what's happening to me. I need you to take me to the hospital. And then he was like, okay, yeah, let's go to the hospital. Because he didn't know, right? And I didn't tell him. Me too, I didn't know what was happening. I knew I was in pain the whole time for the last 2 days, but I didn't actually know that was a miscarriage that is happening. 6, and I remember it was raining a lot, like a lot outside. 6 in the morning, an hour later, Edmo is getting ready. I think he went out to hit the car out of the parking. Yeah, and then I'm upstairs. I had my my nieces of mine. They were like 2. They slept. They were here in my house like for a few days. They came in vacation, so yeah. So they were here, you know, enjoying themselves. So I felt it was the worst. Sorry, guys. So I'm upstairs waiting Edmond to come actually to go to the hospital, and I felt the baby is coming out, and it was the worst experience ever. Sorry guys, it was the worst experience ever because I could feel it. The baby is gone, the baby is coming out, and I started crying, I started screaming. I called it Edmond, but he couldn't hear me because he was already downstairs.
He was outside.
Yeah, he was already outside, and I had to call my nieces to come to help me, to call my nieces to come downstairs to help me to go to the car, right? Oof. Sorry guys. And I'm screaming, I don't know what's happening, but I could, that moment I knew we're losing the baby. And I was screaming, telling it, "Mom, the baby is gone, the baby is gone." I was screaming at the same time, trying to go downstairs. And then I was just screaming the whole time. I was screaming, crying, and not knowing what to do. But I knew I had to take Kotex because I don't know, like this is too much. So I had to put on Kotex, and then Edmund actually came to help me. But I was screaming the whole time until to the hospital. So when I was crying the whole time in the car, like it was just the worst experience. And we go to the hospital. I don't know if some people know, like here in Canada, when we talk about hospital and you talk about emergency, because we had to go to the emergency, right? And we stayed there like for how many years? How many hours, baby?
I think in total it was at least 8 hours.
Without the doctor, and all that time I was in pain. I was crying. It was basically when I was after started talking about other people who actually went through miscarriage. You feel like the time I'm having cramps is actually it's the same thing as someone who is pregnant, like who's giving birth. Like it's the same cramps. So for me it was the worst. Like it was the worst experience I've ever had in my whole life. So we're at the hospital. We've been there for 8 hours. I'm tired. I'm hungry. The same thing at Motu is tired. He's hungry, and he was just coming from one room to another. It was just basically I got to see the doctor once everything was done.
Yeah.
Like I had to wait all that time without having any help. just me figuring out to myself, and then more helping me out. Like that's the only thing we did at the hospital. There's no medication they gave me. I'm high, nothing. It was just like, oh, they just checked.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
Was
but
it a prescription?
yeah. So like once we go there, and then waiting for our nurses doing whatever checkings, from one room to another. I'm like, I just need to go home. And I remember on that day we lost the baby. It was actually 3 days to go to start doing the first checking, like scanning actually. So when and I had my own doctor. She called me on that day because she knew that in 3 days I'm gonna do the first scanning of the baby. And then I was like, yeah, Edmund had to tell him like, yeah, we are at the hospital, we lost the baby, and it was too much. At that time I wasn't actually emotional. I was in pain. Like I didn't feel the loss of the baby at that moment. I was just in pain. Just the way it was, I didn't have time to be in the emotional side because it was so much, it was so painful. I could not believe like what was happening to me. So like whatever, because now I can't even scream. Just the tears coming out of in my face, just the tears, because I don't have energy like to cry. I don't have any more energy, So I just cry like this without, umbonye, you would think maybe I just remembered something. No, I'm much in pain. I don't have the time to think about what's happening. I'm in pain. That's why I'm crying. Yeah, so we stayed there the whole day. And then after they realized, yeah, I was pregnant. And then they just had to make sure if there is nothing that stayed in my womb. But I recall I didn't get there's something called pregnancy. Yeah.
Like outside of the womb?
Yeah. Very toxic pregnancy.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. There's a kind of pregnancy you get whereby it's the pregnancy that it's attached somewhere else. Yeah. So they had to verify if that's what was happening to me. Why did I get the miscarriage? But nothing was like that, so everything was good. So I didn't have to do, because once they found out, you have to do a surgery right away, because you can actually die, right? But for me it was good. It was just the normal pregnancy, it didn't go through, or it did continue growing, so they had to, like, it had to come out, right? So we stayed there like 8 hours, one doctor to another, and they had to check how my blood was high. Was it blood?
Blood pressure. Yeah,
blood pressure was really high, so they could tell, yeah, I was pregnant. But they couldn't verify because everything was done, right? Because everything was done. And it's called emergency room. That's crazy, by the way, I wish. So basically, before we went to the hospital, actually once we got pregnant, we talked about it. I told it more. I'd like to go to Burundi, so that I can have my private doctor to take care of me. Yeah, private doctor to take care of me. I'll pay how much it is. At least I have my own doctor. That was actually one of the plans. I don't know if you remember. And it's really hard. Like if you're not a millionaire, to get someone to take care of you right away when you have something, an emergency, especially when it comes to the pregnancy, it's really hard. That's why for some reason we stayed there for 8 hours. So one of the plans we had was, for me, once I get pregnant, I go to Burundi, I stay there, and when it's time to give birth, I come back, so that I have someone who can take care of me every single day. But unfortunately it didn't happen, because it was 3 months later, boom, we lost the baby, right? So we're there waiting, having tests, one back to back basically. But at the same time, the baranza in India, I don't know, did they give you the food?
Mm-hmm. There's some food you did not eat, so I took some of that.
Yeah, so like baranza in India, because onitela the whole day, right?
Yeah.
So
through it, it just wasn't the people we knew very close. It was a couple of people, and then you've heard in general it happens, like people have miscarriages, people go through years without having kids, but then you never thought about it could happen
to me. Yeah, that's a good thing.
If anything, you thought it would take longer to get pregnant, but But you didn't
Yeah,
think.
I didn't think. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's actually true. I thought that I could get pregnant, like it's gonna take a long time, but I didn't actually think I'm gonna get pregnant quickly, but also I will lose the baby right away. Like that wasn't in my plan. No, I wasn't even thinking about it. But these things happen. Like it happens all the time. It happens to people. It happens to our communities. And then I feel like, so basically once it happened, now I started looking online on how people go through it, like what kind of things you should do, on how to treat yourself. Because after that happened, I feel like I went into depression whereby I could just feel like it was because I was working too much, I was doing too much, for myself, instead of I remember sometimes people, they would come here in my house, they would tell me, oh no, don't do too much, just do. I'm like, to exaggerate. But those people, they're actually serious, because they already went through it. They know how terrible it is, and they know what it can do to you. And I remember there's one friend of mine, she actually told me, Germaine, I went through it, I think twice or 3 times. Like, I would tell you, like, I have a testimony. I was like, really? But they don't even talk about it. Like, we don't.
Until you go through
Until
it.
you go through it, you don't actually hear about it.
I think they don't trust that you're going to understand what they mean, or that you're going to take it as seriously as they want you to take it. Because you might think, especially you're so positive, you might think like, yeah, but it's not going to be me. But if it already happened to you, then now you can't deny it. And then now you get, both of you can talk about it in terms of like, this is what
You
actually
understand.
happens.
It was really hard to understand, really hard to accept. I feel like now I actually accept it happened, but before I was like, no, why? Having all the whys in the world, I don't have the answer. I'm asking myself, I'm asking God, like, it was too much. How was it for you? How was it for you?
As a man.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, for me, basically, I can't translate it in what you would feel. I can just tell you that it was the worst experience that I've ever had. And I was trying to look strong, because I was not. And I was trying not to cry when you're crying.
Yeah.
And I was just, because like, in that time, I remember even the day or 2 days right after, I even went to Toronto. And then I know you told me, oh, it's fine, you can go anyways, my nieces are here. But I also knew that part of it, maybe you were just asking me to have some space. If not, I would not have left. But I know also later you told me, hey, you should not have gone. But it's one of those things like, if your husband is asking you, would you rather have space or do you want me to stay? Just say stay if that's what you want.
Yeah.
So anyways, so I left, came back, but like a lot of things were happening around that time. So work is involved, and we're preparing for like your mom to come over. So I know that it's like we didn't stop, and some of it helped because then you don't have to think about it too much. But at the same time, I don't know, like it broke me. It broke me. I don't know about depression, but I definitely was really feeling like I don't know. Is this like a test? Does this mean that even the next one is gonna be the same thing? I didn't know, but and it's part of it is just I just had to release control of it and just not try to either control it or understand it or even try to fight it, because there's nothing to fight. There's nothing to. There's no winning.
Yeah, there's no winning, right? There's no winning. Woo! Miscarriage is the worst experience ever. There's one of my friend who actually came over after she heard about it. She came to cook for me, and she brought some soup, and that was so nice of her because I didn't have energy. Like I didn't want to eat, and I was so nari très fragile, So like she brought some. Oh, what do you want me to cook for you? And then I'm talking soup maybe. And then she brought some soup, and I had it for a few days. It was so nice of her coming over, and she went through it twice. So like she knows. Like she's like like I know how it feels. I know how terrible it is. And for some reason, I feel like and I knew about it, about her, that she went through it twice. But I feel like once we went through it, I don't know if I can say open my eyes, whatever.
Yeah,
it feels like people don't talk about it. You know, you see people on Instagram, they said, "Oh, I had a miscarriage." People are crying, like, you're just looking like.
Which is happening right now.
You know, I know, you know, and you see the emotions, but you do not understand because you never went through it, right?
Yeah.
So like.
But I think that's why people don't talk about it. They don't feel like they'll be understood, or maybe they feel like people will take it. For some women, I know there's some even African communities where even when you're having childbirth, they don't want you to cry. They definitely don't want you to scream. Like, you have to be very quiet. It's like it's this normal pain that you're supposed to just accept. So then imagine if you don't even bring the baby to term. It's even worse, because in that case it's like anyways you didn't go through the whole thing. So depending on whatever opinion people have, they may feel ostracized for it. And I feel like, unfortunately, when you already don't have a support system, like your family, or maybe that's like a single mom or whatever, that's even worse. It's almost like it's a punishment on top of what you're already living through. I feel like we were very fortunate that not only I know like the hospital didn't do much, but at least we were there. And if she fainted or started losing a lot of blood, you know, they were there. So, and then on top of that, we were together. You know, I was not already in Toronto when it happened. So, but at the same time, you know, it doesn't change that it was very bad.
Yeah, it was very bad. Very, very, very bad. I
also felt like, you know, I didn't want this to mean that we're not gonna try, but I was not gonna push you. I was not even gonna mention it. I was just gonna wait for you to feel like you're ready again. You know?
Actually, I feel like when I said I went into depression, I feel like because I was like, I don't want to hear about pregnancy. I didn't want to try it again. I was like, listen, I'm done. If I can do this twice in a year, like I cannot. If this happens twice in a year, I'm dead. Like I'm DEAD. Like I'm dead, because it was too much. Just one time, it was the worst experience ever. So like,
I can't imagine people who have like 2, 3, 4, 5. Like this, I think it was Tiffany Haddish who said that she had 9 of them. I don't know in the course of how many years, but like, that's a lot. It doesn't matter even if you have one a year, it's still a lot. Like that would still be 9 years of repetitive miscarriages.
I saw something on Instagram. Someone was saying that she had a 16 miscarriages. She had a 16 pregnancies, but only by 5.
Yeah, 5 kids. Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, 16
You
pregnancies.
might have seen it. It's just like pointing at the
Which
years she was pregnant, and then you suddenly see the years that she actually had a baby, and so the years where she got pregnant, minus the actual the giving birth, that's like more than 10 miscarriages, and I don't know how she does it.
They have they have so much courage. Me, I know I can't. Like that's. I don't know if I can go through that again, or 4, 3, 5, 6 times. Actually, I asked my mom, because we are 6 siblings, and then I asked her if she ever went through it. So I'm like, okay, because I heard that, you know, if we're trying to have a baby, at least you have to get one miscarriage at least once per year.
They said it's 1 in 4 women, right? So like I think you were about to say that she didn't have it.
Yeah, she never had it.
Some women go through it and nothing ever happens,
and she doesn't know anything about it.
Yeah, and then there are others who they can't have a baby without having a miscarriage. It's like it's a spectrum.
Actually, I was shocked.
Yeah.
I remember when I was telling the doctor that my mom had never had a miscarriage after 6 kids, and I don't know, I felt emotional. I'm like, why am I even feeling emotional? She never had it. So basically, when I was asking her, I wanted to connect, to hear how she was at that time when she was having all these miscarriages, and I just hear from her, no, I never had none. Like, I never had it. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, Mama, you had 6 kids. What do you mean?
It's possible also that she lied.
She's like,
no, I didn't say it. I did not say she lied. I'm saying it's also possible because Monsieur Kirundi, maybe it's just something she feels like, why should I discuss this? You know?
Yeah. So like, yeah. So that's actually what we went through for basically the beginning of this year, 2024. So yeah, and we are happy, we are grateful, whatever happened, and we're looking forward for the second step, the second baby,
second attempt.
The second attempt,
But also, I'm grateful that not only you didn't have basically there was no negative consequences, both from the pregnancy, because people can just have diabetes or other complications just being pregnant, but also you didn't have any adverse reactions to having a miscarriage, and as far as we know, we can still keep trying.
We can, definitely, but so yeah, that's what we have. We wanted to talk about it, wanted to share with you, and we wanted to talk about it once we're ready, as this time. I know I wasn't ready the whole session, but at least I was able to talk about it, and just also encourage anybody out there who's watching this video, who's been going through the same thing, maybe a mom or a single mom or just a little girl, like anybody who's going through it, or either they're planning to have a baby, just be strong. Things, sometimes things get hard, but it doesn't mean you have to give up, I'm saying that to you, but also to tell myself as well, because sometimes, I remember at the time I felt like I need to find answers for myself. Like I didn't need God, like I didn't need God to come and figure out what's happening. At some point I felt like, you know what, I can do this. God, can you just take a break? Let me deal with it,
It's funny,
but,
today they talked about how, because we were in church, and then they talked about the fact that God can only go as far as you let him in. So if you say,
hey,
I got
you put it on the side. It's gonna be on the side.
Let me take care of this. You're limiting him. You're minimizing the power that he has, and then you're also denying yourself blessings, opportunities, happiness, and so on and so forth. But people do that all the time. But now, I've already, hopefully I healed enough, or maybe I'm not healed for it. I'll never heal from it. I don't know. For you, because you carried the baby, it's different. You might always feel like someone was there.
Oh yes,
Like I know my sister said it was just a dream, but she's had a dreim where she felt like there was another child, and it's not even that it was a miscarriage. It's just that she has, from time to time, she remembers that dream, and it's like, oh wait, I have 3 or no, I have 2. So for you actually carried the child. I don't know. There might be times we'll remember it. Because I read online the things they talk about the miscarriage. It doesn't go away. You will always know, you will never forget that you had the baby. There's someone who was supposed to be with you who's not here. So like you always have that feeling. Because I remember the 3 months. Actually, I feel like the second or the third month, because I already feeling the connection, feeling all this way on how, like it was just weird. It was just funny and weird, the feelings of the mother, like carrying the baby, basically I feel like at that time I was bonding with this baby. I didn't know it was he or she, whatever, but I could feel the connection already. So like me, that taking away from me, I felt like I need it. And I always, especially when it happened, until maybe for the last 5 months, that's how I felt the whole time. Now at least I'm trying to heal from it. I'm trying to, quick calma and to understand, but also I will never forget. Like that's a part of my life, right? There's another thing too. Like I don't want you to say the name, but we had already given a name to this baby, and we kept talking about the baby, and I was talking to the Betty using the name, and it makes it even worse because now it's like this person, and that person has a name, but that person is not there anymore, and it's, you know, like it's a lot harder to think about it because you attach someone that you have lost, you know. I know some people will think like a person, a baby is not a person until a certain number of months. You know, people talk about abortion and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, it depends on the connection you have with that baby. If you want the baby to term, if you plan for the baby, you may feel like you just lost a family member.
Yeah,
you know?
That's
so
exactly how it felt.
I'm not advising not to name babies early, but like it definitely makes it harder. So, you know, do it at your own risk.
Yeah. You know what? Let's cut it short. It was an experience, but also we're very grateful. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. Thank you so much for taking time and listen and, you know, hear from us what's been happening, especially at the beginning of this year. We are very happy. We are in a good place now, and we are hoping for the future for us to get another chance to be called pregnant again, or to be called a parent. So we are much appreciated, or much a good space right now. So yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for all the love. Well, everybody, wherever you are, or anytime you're gonna watch this video, hopefully we help you, it will encourage you, and also to remind you that nothing happens for a reason. Without a reason. So, like, you know, just keep pushing, keep moving, and yeah, you will get the good result at the end of the day. Do you have anything else that you'd like to say?
No, I think we said a lot. You know, just if you're trying to have a baby, just, you know, go to the doctors early, follow the instructions, talk to your family. Some will actually talk to you about some of the things if they can, anything they went through, and then, you know, courage. That's really all I can say. And, you know, God bless, really.
Yeah, thank you. Bye. Thank you so much for subscribing, for watching the video. See you next time. We will love you. Bye.
Bye.